How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Good. I've always wondered where this place was.
Yeah. It was my first time going in there, and
How was it?
very relaxing.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly what I wanted from it, so.
Perfect. Was it like a room filled with salt, like the floor and everything?
Yes.
And oh, nice.
Yeah.
Do
They
do-
have like, I
Yeah,
think
tell me
she
about it.
said it's like 40 tons of salt or
Whoa.
something crazy like that. And it's imported mostly from Pakistan and a little bit of like the Polish salt caves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
Interesting.
so it's just like there's like, you know, salt pretty much like floor to ceiling.
Wow.
I think there's like a little bit of wood paneling between like the salt that's on the walls and like the ceiling, but it's literally like in hanging bags in like the ceiling rafters too.
Oh, wild.
Yeah. So
Oh,
it's like
man.
a very like full body experience.
Nice. Now, did you feel like any symptomatic relief or anything for sinus or breathing or the things that they claim that, you know, it aids in?
I feel like for the most of the time, like the main sensation I was feeling was like almost felt like a weighted blanket was on me.
Interesting.
And so like it did kind of feel like this just like calm down of like the nervous system reset, which is very much like the intention of my trip out here.
Perfect.
And, yeah. So
nice.
it's kind of exactly what I wanted and needed.
So now we're off to singing bowls, right? And is that what you're doing?
I don't think for the rest of the evening. Unfortunately, I have like a work meeting I have to go back to. I know. It was like.
Well, that's a good way to like preclude the work meeting to get yourself in a right frame of mind and everything and relaxed and more at peace. Getting back to being at peace is such an important thing.
Yeah.
You know?
And it was like one of those things where I was like, oh, well, like maybe I could stay out and like just, you know, take the meeting from like a cafe, and then I forgot my laptop at home, and like I don't have my email logged in on my phone, so I'm just like, and it's like a new company, so like they gave me the password and I don't remember what it is, so it's only logged in on my computer, and like all right, well I guess I'm like going back.
Oh well.
And then I'll reward myself with like going back out to dinner later, probably.
There you go. Yeah. We'll have a little sippage somewhere, whatever you enjoy. Definitely.
Yes.
That's a great way to end the day, cap off the day. Very peaceful, meaningful day. Hell yeah, definitely. Very cool.
Yeah. This morning I would like I had breakfast over at the what is it, like All Day Darling, and then I walked around like the Montford area, which is like so pretty over there, and I visited like the Riverside Cemetery too.
Nice.
Gorgeous views of the mountains. I mean, really, like everywhere has gorgeous views of the mountains.
Yeah. Now, do you live here? Or are you just visiting?
No,
or?
I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
visiting. Yeah.
Cool. Where are you in from?
Oregon.
Oregon.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, let me think. You're either the third or fourth rider I've had from Oregon. I've had some Oregon conversation here
That
and
makes
there.
a lot of sense. This is like apparently like touted to be like the Oregon of the East Coast.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah.
It's like or the Portland of the East Coast or something like that.
I can see that. I don't think it's as commercialized, to tell you the truth.
I don't think so either.
I always point out, even though we've got a garage in front of us and some other buildings, but all of like the downtown area, you don't see like big conglomerates and like big bank buildings and like Morgan Stanley and all that. It's like there's venues, there's living areas, and it's all local stuff. You know, it's
really
that's why it's such like a real visity kind of walking city. You know, I don't think Portland's kind of the same. I think they're a lot like what I would think of because I've just seen pictures, but I'm from the Orlando area. Orlando's got all these big, you know, industrial commercial buildings downtown and all that, and is very business orientated, whereas like down here it's mainly like all like tourist orientated.
Yeah,
you know, that
makes sense. I think Portland has a lot of like small businesses, and like there is a big culture of that there. It's definitely got like the same kind of like everyone there is a little bit weird and funky vibe. Although I'd say like Portland is probably like, you know, like a little bit further on like the left side of the spectrum. Maybe I think, you know, here's like a little bit more balanced.
It's very well. The city here is very progressive.
Yes.
Very. Now on the outskirts, not so much so. Very conservative on the outskirts.
Yeah, Oregon is kind of like that too. It's like Portland and Corvallis, where I went to school, is like it's pretty liberal, and then like on the outskirts, like especially if you get into like Eastern Oregon, it's a lot more red.
Okay.
There, yeah. So.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, this is my first time like actually like being in North Carolina too.
Oh man, I got another first timer today. I love hearing that. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So was it really the work and everything that drove you here? What exactly are you visiting? What was your full intention of making this trip?
So I have been like living out in Oregon for about 3 years now because I did my master's degree there.
Cool.
And oh my God, this is so
look at that.
Pretty.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Wow. Yeah, and so like I was out there for my master's degree, stayed out for like an extra like year and change out that way. But like now, you know, like a lot of my friends are moving out of the area, and like I'm no longer in the relationship that I was in. So I'm just kind of like, you know, as beautiful as Oregon is, the style of people is like not fully in line with like what I think it's like I'm an East Coaster. Like I'm originally from Connecticut, and so like I'm very like I'm used to people being like more direct and just like a little bit more
not so passive aggressive.
Conscientious of each other's time, and like there's a lot of people like up from California and Oregon, and like there's something about like the West Coast way of being that they're never direct with you. They're very like you know, like, oh yeah, like we should totally do that thing, and then there's like no follow through like ever, and trying to like wrangle together plans with anyone. You get people like canceling last minute all the time.
Do you think it has a lot to do with like the Hollywood culture where everything is so fake and it's got to be like so many ways? If you think about the influence of like the Real Housewives and all these like reality shows and things, and how they portray everything out of there, it's like they show basically a lot of Californians, they kind of say have to keep up a certain persona. You know, you think that's part of it?
It very well could be. I think like out there it's a slower pace of life. Okay. For sure. Different than the slow in the South though. Like it's like they don't have a sense of urgency really in like Oregon and California, and I mean I think Seattle, like Washington area, maybe a little bit more sense of urgency than like lower down, but like there's something about that of like, oh well, nothing really matters that much to be getting to. So it's like being late is like a thing, and like you know, not showing up is a thing. Like there's all these things where it's like, oh, you know, I'm prioritizing myself in a way that is, it's like taking the whole idea of like self-care to another level of where it becomes selfish and not considerate of the other people around you.
Gotcha.
Versus, like, I think a lot of the time, East Coasters are, like, seen as more stereotypically selfish, but really, I think they help each other out more. Like, they value, like, community and culture in a way that I just don't see out west.
Interesting. I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, that's just kind of my take from having lived out there for a few years.
Yeah.
So
that's how it's impressed upon you, definitely.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think, like, maybe I'm a little jaded because I just, like, I had an experience in, like, my master's program that was, like, not so amazing socially. Like, I got a lot out of it academically.
Nice.
It was really incredible. I went out there for I got my MFA in creative writing.
Ooh.
So it was a phenomenal program, but again, it was like the people there, like, you know, had, I don't know if they fully had an issue with me, but it was just like, I felt like I was always kind of on the outside of that circle, and then they wouldn't really communicate with me, like, what the issue was, or like, and so sometimes I'd, like, trust people as if they were my friends, and then later realize that it was never that serious for them.
Yeah, I think that's a naivety that even I unfortunately have fallen into many times.
Yep.
I don't think that's necessarily just any general particular place, but just the state of just sensitive individuals, people who try to be more considerate of others.
Yeah.
You know, I've always raised, you know, my kids to be the same way, considerate of others, very compassionate, you know, and stuff like that. And, you know, because you never know what's going on in somebody else's, but I would say that's more, for me at least, like a personal issue where I've always realized that, you know, we're our own worst enemies sometimes when it comes to the people that we choose to be around. But hindsight, things like that, you only get to know somebody after a little while, then they show their true colors. So part of it's fakeness on the other side too, you know. But you know, I'm probably a lot like you, where I give a lot of benefits of the doubt, and I try to think that most people are good people. But then a lot of times it turns around not being the case. You know, it's sad.
Yeah, it was one of those things that was, like, really unfortunate because I was really, really close with somebody while I was out there, and then I just kind of got, like, the rug pulled out from underneath me with our friendship a little bit, and then they were pretty much really good friends with everyone else in the program, more so than I was. And so everyone kind of got told the story about what happened with us from their perspective. And then it was just kind of like, okay, well, now I don't really feel safe talking with anyone from this community about how I experienced, you know, oh, sweet kitty.
I can understand that.
Yeah, so I don't know. It could get isolating in that way.
It reminds me of my first marriage, where my ex moved back to her hometown, and everybody knew her in there, and upon the split up, she started telling all these lies about me, and you know, all throughout the school and everything like that. And you know, I'm coming in to pick up my kids at school, and I'm getting these glaring looks, and I'm just like, what's going on? You know, and again, I felt very attacked, also misunderstood, and how dare those people believe the fucking liar, you know, and that person, they haven't even heard my story or whatever. Eventually, with time, everything ironed itself out and it flipped around. And I didn't have to prove myself to anybody. It just eventually happened, you know. The big indication of that was me getting custody of my 2 kids.
Oh, wow.
You know.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It was really for them, you know. They're the ones. I didn't do it for myself, honestly enough. You know, it was my commitment to them being a father, but my commitment of being a father was making sure that they were safe, secure, and happy, and it wasn't going to happen there. So, you know, I had no choice but to step in.
It's just this one right here.
Cute. Okay. Excellent, excellent. Well, I do wish you a wonderful time, Jessica.
Thank you.
A great time.